What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where I keep you updated on everything with the fourth stimulus check update, the fourth round of stimulus, that multiple new things. In fact, a couple new things today we're going to go over in this episode. We literally have new things coming up for the fourth round of stimulus, as there's so much more than just the fourth stimulus check, although the fourth stimulus check is nice. And we also cover everything going on in the world. And yes, if you're wondering, my tongue is blue. And it may or may not be from me eating Superman ice cream. If you caught our video like a day ago where we discussed Superman ice cream, it's my wife's absolute favorite from her as a child, her favorite ice cream. And she scoured the internet looking for Superman ice cream. And she found it at a local store. It's Laurel, my beautiful wife Laurel, who's also our video editor. Can you pop up some pictures of Superman ice cream so that they can see it? It's absolutely amazing. I think it's a regional thing. I'm here in Ohio. I think it's only a couple surrounding states, but let me know if you have Superman ice cream where you are, and let me. I've seen a lot of comments from the last video where we discussed it, and a lot of people said, "Ooh, I'm gonna go and try it." Let me know if you tried it and if you like it, because man, that Superman ice cream is great. So unfortunately, now I have a blue tongue for the whole episode. So, hey, at least my teeth aren't blue, right? If my teeth were blue, we may have to postpone the episode or something like that. But a blue tongue is totally okay for YouTube, so I hear. Alas, let's jump into today's episode, today's show. Multiple different stimulus items for you in today's episode as well. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so you don't miss out on video updates on the new upcoming round, the fourth round of stimulus. All right, here we go. Okay, it's now pretty much confirmed by both Pfizer and Moderna that the two shots will not likely be enough. And there's now a third shot. So basically, you get your first shot, you get your second shot. My wife's behind me. You get your second shot a month later. And now they're saying a third shot within 6 months to a year later that they're calling a booster shot. So the Pfizer CEO has now said it, the Moderna CEO has now said it, and so it's pretty much confirmed. As you can see here, Pfizer's CEO said Thursday that COVID-19 vaccine recipients will likely need a third dose between 6 to 12 months after they're fully vaccinated, and suggested vaccinations for coronavirus could be needed every year. So there it is in black and white. I've been predicting this for a while if you've been following the show, because I just think with all the different variants that it was just going to go the way of the flu shot. And if you get a flu shot, you get a flu shot every year, and every year, you might not know this about the flu shot unless you watch the show, but every year there's a different strain or a different variant of the flu. There's lots of different strains, but the flu vaccine or the flu shot, they cover the most dominant strains for that year. And I just had a feeling that the coronavirus, from everything that I see, was kind of moving in that direction. So I do think it's getting more clearer. It's not 100% confirmed, but I mean, the Pfizer CEO saying that recipients will likely need a third dose between 6 to 12 months after they're fully vaccinated, and suggested vaccinations for coronavirus could be needed every year. So he said it remains to be seen how often potential additional vaccines would be provided. A likely scenario is there will likely be a need for a third dose somewhere between 6 and 12 months, and from then there would be an annual revaccination. Well, at least you got the early information for me. I think it's in black and white now, so it's being reported by the Pfizer CEO. So I think that this will go the way of the flu shot. So if you get a flu shot, you know how it is. You go every year, you get a flu shot, and I think that we may even see in the future flu shots and COVID shots combined. Although they might not do that because of reactions between the two, they might want to space them out, so you don't get any adverse ill reactions more than you would have, um, from a flu shot or from a COVID shot. But it's pretty confirmed now that there will be what they're calling booster shots 6 to 12 months after Moderna's already been testing their shot. Pfizer CEO is now talking about it. They gotta test this, so they're testing it right now in people, and then they're gonna go for emergency FDA authorization. Remember, both Pfizer and Moderna, both well, and Johnson and Johnson, even though that's currently paused, have what's called emergency authorization from the FDA. They don't have full FDA approval because FDA approval is taking additional time, and they didn't give it to them at the bat. They gave them emergency authorization. But I think we could see the full FDA approval sometime in the near-ish future. So, but yeah, third shots, booster shots. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts on yearly vaccinations for COVID-19. Are you surprised by that? Are you disappointed that that's going to have to happen? If you don't get a vaccine, you're probably like, ha ha ha, I told you. Now you got to go get it every year. And I mean, if you're a non-vaxxer and you don't like the vaccine, yeah, you probably just don't. You're not going to get it anyway, so I guess it doesn't really affect you. But yeah, I can see this putting a further divide between people who don't want to get the vaccine but were maybe considering it. That now they may have to get booster shots and get it every year. So I think that might put a further divide between the people who want to get it and the people who don't. I also think that in the near future, probably in a month or so, once everybody has their shots, I think we're going to see a lot of campaigning from the government to get people on board to get shots that don't want to. So we're going to be getting close to that reaction or that time frame in the next month or two, probably, when everybody who wants to get their shots has now gotten them, or at least the first one, and they're waiting for the second one. And I think we're going to see a campaign push to kind of bring people on board who don't want to get the shots. So don't be surprised when you see that. All right, so we have a couple new proposals, and surprisingly, we have two new bipartisan proposals, which mean bipartisan is Republican support and Democratic support. So, very shocking to see this because Republicans and Democrats have not been playing very nice lately. I've seen some of your comments that said, "Man, they're like kids or kindergartners fighting over who's going to rule the playground." And yeah, that is actually a very good. That is actually I got a cat here floating around here. That is actually a very good anomaly, and it seems like the party in power, who's now the Democrats, it was the Republicans when Mitch McConnell controlled the Senate for many many years. It seems like the party in power pretty much just does whatever they want to do to get their agenda done. And if they can do it, they seem to do it. We've seen this from both Republicans and Democrats, and I think it's kind of just yeah, they're both power hungry. They're both trying to get as much power as they can, and when they have it, when they can pass something, Republican or Democrats, they do it. So if anything, I guess that's good news for more stimulus on the horizon. So yeah, here's a two. We actually had three new stimulus proposals in the last 24 hours. The one was an expansion of additional unemployment benefits on the state level and 75% unemployment reimbursement of your salary. We're not going to cover that one too much in this episode. I covered that in the last episode or two. I'm sure we'll be talking about it more. But we have two proposals, bipartisan proposals from, interestingly enough, Republican Senator Mitch Romney and Democratic Senator Kirsten Sinema. You probably heard both their names. Kirsten Sinema is like the mini Joe Manchin. She's the one who almost caused the third stimulus check package to not pass, but not as much as Senator Joe Manchin, Democratic senator from West Virginia. But Mitch Romney and Kirsten Sinema have been very busy lately. Okay, first up, proposal number one from them. We touched on this a little bit yesterday. Mitt Romney, Republican Senator, and Democratic Senator Kirsten Sinema are teaming up on a proposal to raise the minimum wage. Republican Senator Mitt Romney says, "We're negotiating a minimum wage proposal which would ultimately take to our group of 20 different bipartisan senators and see how they react to it and then go from there." We've pretty much come to the meeting of the minds amongst ourselves, meaning Senator Sinema and myself, but there are many others who want to be a part of that discussion. Mitt Romney did not provide details about the timeline for the wage hike or what the new minimum wage proposal would be, although Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, who absolutely loves the spotlight and always has to be in the spotlight, even though he seems to be not in this group, uh, stole the spotlight anyways. Although Democratic Senator Joe Manchin told reporters that he believed the measure would raise the wage to $11 an hour, kind of spilling the beans for Mitt Romney and Kirsten Sinema, Joe Manchin said, "Oh, no, no, that's my spotlight. I'll be the one to announce the wage hike," even though it seems he doesn't know what it actually is. It seems like they left him out of the group, which is interesting. But so that's the first bill. We have another one now, both from Mitt Romney and Kirsten Sinema again. And that is a new proposed bill to tackle student loan debt. It's interesting to see Republicans coming on board over student loan debt and the minimum wage hike. Senator Mitt Romney, Republican from Utah, and Kirsten Sinema, Democrat from Arizona, on Thursday introduced a bipartisan bill to tackle student loan debt. The Earn to Learn Act will allow low income students to pay for college related expenses through a college matched savings program. This is very interesting. This is the first time we've heard of anything like this. We must do better to ensure American students have the skills and training necessary to pursue good paying jobs that keep up with our challenging economy, Mitt Romney says. Our legislation will help students pursue their education by equipping them with the financial resources and knowledge they need to attend college, career, and technical schools without the burden of being saddled by debt when they graduate. The savings account allows participating states or nonprofits to give an extra $8 for every $1 a student puts into the savings account, and the money can be used once the student selects a school to attend. The bill is based on a similar program that has existed in Arizona for 10 years and has helped many students in the state graduate debt free. So basically, this isn't really student loan forgiveness. It's kind of like a student loan savings plan, where basically the government will give you an 8-to-1 match. So, for example, if you put $1,000 in your college fund, the government would match it with $8,000. So that's amazing. If you put $10,000 in there, the government would match it with $80,000. So this is kind of a savings to forward college savings plan, where the student loan forgiveness that President Biden has said he's willing to do $10,000 of, although a lot of Democrats, including Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Elizabeth Warren, want him to do as high as $50,000 of. And they say he can do it through presidential executive order. I'm actually expecting some type of announcement, I think, here in not too long ago, in not too long, maybe in the coming near days. I don't want to put a time frame on it, but I think it could be coming soon. Remember, President Biden's already done three mini versions or many rounds of student loan forgiveness. The first one is $1 billion for people who were defrauded by their schools or their schools closed on them. The second one was $1.3 billion for students that have permanent disabilities. Each of those have qualifications in there. So if you have those, you should definitely look those up. Just Google it, student loan forgiveness program, and you'll go to the website and be able to see it possibly apply. The third round is a payment pause and interest pause for over 1 million students. I say students, but it's actually for adults that are out of college as well. Anybody who has student loans, which is about 45 million people in the United States. So they paused 1 million loan payments and interest and garnishments and all sorts of things for over 1 million people. Those are the three rounds that have already been done pretty much in the last 3 weeks. And I'm expecting a mass amount of student loan forgiveness of $10,000 to $50,000 per person here in the near future. I also think this opens the door. Some people have said I've started the movement for this, which is great. I mean, hey, let's get as much help for you guys, our extended family, as we can. The movement to, hey, what about people who don't have student loans? What about other types of debt forgiveness? The government could very easily do tax and IRS debt forgiveness and also mortgage debt forgiveness. So, say for example, they end up doing 10,000 or 25,000 or $50,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. Could they do the same amount for people who didn't get the student loan forgiveness, people who don't have student loans, for IRS or tax forgiveness? Could they do $10,000 of that? Could they do $10,000 of mortgage debt forgiveness? The government owns the majority of mortgage debt on the back end through the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac programs, who back the majority of mortgages in the country. Could they shave off $10,000 or $50,000 of mortgage debt or tax debt? Could they do other types of debt, such as medical debt or credit card debt? Credit card debt forgiveness sounds pretty good, doesn't it? They could do that through a stimulus package. They could do that through the infrastructure package. They could throw that in there. I mean, we already know that the Democrats passed the third stimulus check package without any Republican support. It's actually good to see Republicans coming on board with this bipartisan group for minimum wage and student loan debt forgiveness. Those two bills alone would help out tens of millions of Americans. So it's good to see Republicans coming on board, and we're seeing some bipartisan negotiations now. But really, can we see other types of debt forgiveness in the future? The Democrats can put this either in the infrastructure package. I don't think it'll probably happen in the infrastructure package, because I think the student loan debt's going to happen first. And I think they're going to probably do that through executive order, so it doesn't add additional money onto the infrastructure package. I don't think they want to make the infrastructure any larger than it is. I think they're just going to do it through executive order. They could do IRS tax forgiveness or mortgage debt forgiveness simply through an executive order as well, because it's government debt. They literally just sign on the line and they just waive it. They don't have to print any money or anything. To do credit card debt forgiveness or medical debt forgiveness or other types of debt forgiveness, they could do that through probably a stimulus package. I'm not, probably not through an executive order on that, although executive orders are a very tricky gray area. I mean, the most noticeable example of that is when President Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, for those that will yell at me for calling him president. Remember, all presidents, President Trump, President Obama, President Reagan, they all retain the title of president. Okay, so if you say President Obama or President Trump, they all they retain that title forever. So, former President Donald Trump, when he passed that executive order for 6 weeks of unemployment bonus money through an executive order, $300 per week for 6 weeks, $1,800 stimulus checks. I mean, they were literally bonus money. That's stimulus. I mean, that's the kind of the definition of the word stimulus. It was money from the government to the people as a bonus. And Trump did that through an executive order. Now, he did it with money that was already there, the disaster relief fund. But really, there's all sorts of different buckets of money that the government has sitting in different funds, disaster relief fund, from money from these additional. I mean, they've passed 6 stimulus packages. They have boatloads of money from all these different packages sitting in different accounts and different funds. So if they can do an executive order through for unemployment checks, why can't they do it for stimulus checks? Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen in the near future. I actually don't think this is going to happen in the near future. Really thought that President Trump was going to do it at the time, because he did it for unemployment checks. So why couldn't he do it for stimulus checks? Maybe he could have, maybe he couldn't have, but I think that his time to do that has passed. His window of opportunity has passed. I think that would have gained him a lot more votes, and he may have won the election if he did that, but he didn't. Now, he definitely gained some votes from doing the unemployment checks, but alas, I guess the decision on presidential executive order for stimulus checks, we'll table that for now. I still think it can be done because President Trump did it with unemployment checks. However, I don't think that President Biden will be doing it because I think they're going to just add stimulus checks in the infrastructure package. And remember, the Senate parliamentarian said the Democrats can use the reconciliation card at least 2 more times this fiscal year. And Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says that they can actually go back and amend reconciliation bills to basically add another check in there or add additional provisions in there as well. So I think the Democrats don't really need to do an executive order for stimulus checks. I think they're just going to add them in the infrastructure package. But I do think that he's going to do an executive order for student loan forgiveness. And almost everything I've read from every expert says that they do think that he has the authority to do that. He has Biden has his education secretary actually looking into the legalities of this. And I think that's why they're going to make an announcement on that in the near future. So I'll keep you up to date on everything, this stimulus package, these new proposals for minimum wage increase, the unemployment proposal for increase, this new student savings program, the student loan debt forgiveness, the Social Security increases. Bernie Sanders and a lot of senators want to increase Medicare and Medicaid, possibly coverage to include dental and hearing. I think that could be included in the infrastructure package, as well as we know they're pushing for not just a fourth stimulus check in the next package, but actually for monthly recurring stimulus checks in the next package. And I still think at this point, the Democrats are just going to end up passing this package on their own through the reconciliation process. So, really, any of those items could be included. We'll have to see what gets included because all the Democrats really need to do is negotiate among themselves if they're going to pass it through the reconciliation process. That means they don't need any Republican votes and they could put anything they want in the bill. And all they have to do is appease their own people, the own Democrats. So, I do think that we will see a lot of those different provisions in this infrastructure slash stimulus bill before all is said and done. And I will keep you up to date on the news and the updates on all of that. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on upcoming episodes of our show here. New videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m., and 11 p.m. Eastern Time. But we talk about different things in different episodes. So don't miss a show so you don't miss out on something that might pertain exactly to you. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling physical products on the Amazon FBA program, where I've had dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, which me and my wife do. And we also teach people how to do that. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.